I've found myself doing a lot of different research on various popular rhythms from around the world because I'm trying to expand my horizons and come up with ideas that, I normally wouldn't, because I think our brain really likes the path of least resistance. And I want to share the method that I came up with to actually use all these rhythms in your music without making it sound like it's too far outside of the genre that you work in. Let's get started. So as I was kind of diving into these different rhythms, I came across stuff like Ayub or Chiptatelli. Or in the case of today's video, we're going to be looking at what's called the passport rhythm, which is very popular. And it sounds a bit like this. Probably the easiest way for us to use this rhythm is to either layer it on top of a beat that we already have, or you can start with this and then build the beat around it. But in this case, and the method I want to show you today, we're not going to do that at all. What we're actually going to do is use this rhythm as part of the melody or the basis for the melody. So the basic idea here is that we're going to have Ableton analyze this rhythmic pattern for us, and then we're going to put it in the piano roll and then try to extract a melody out of it. So if I just right click this and then I click convert drums to new MIDI track, now we get something that sounds like this. Now, we obviously don't need the hi-hat or the kick here. And the cool part too is that this is a real loop that somebody actually played, so you're going to get a little bit of variation on the perfection, or lack of perfection rather, of what was played in. All right, and now obviously we don't want this to be a drum kit necessarily. I'm just going to pull open a piano for us to use this rhythm in and get started with. Now, the first time you listen to this, it might sound kind of boring because it's obviously only one note that's getting repeated, but there's some really cool things that you can do from this point forward. And the first one is that you can allow some randomness to inspire a melody using this particular rhythm. So if I press Command F and I type in random, I can open up this random MIDI effect here. Not a random MIDI effect, but a MIDI effect called random. And what this allows us to do is to take our rhythm, which is only one note at the moment, and create these random notes out of it, which essentially creates a melody, right? So if I increase the chance of randomness to 100%, keep our choices at 12, let's see what happens. Okay, but we want it to be part of a particular key, right? A particular scale. So now if I type in something like harmonic minor, we can open up a preset for the scale MIDI effect, which limits the randomized notes into a particular key. What I like to do with this process is just open up a new MIDI track and then set the input to be our piano, and then we will arm our MIDI track. And if you just let this record, you can wait for the computer to generate some melodies that give you some inspiration. I like to do that sometimes. However, sometimes you don't even need to resort to that. You can actually just listen to the rhythm and then come up with your own melody, right? And you can move the notes around. Like if I just went, how about we just raise a couple of these notes and start to give ourselves some inspiration here? Now I kind of like that melody, but I just want to find a more interesting sound for it. If I just open up Serum, and maybe we could scroll through some of the presets and see if we can find anything cool. Drag that MIDI melody down. That's pretty cool. We could dirty it up with some saturation, maybe. Okay, maybe we hear some drums start to reveal themselves with our creative imagination here. Like we could go. Can't forget about the hats, right? Let's just do something real simple, like. All right, how about the 808? your face, the harder the beat is. I don't know if you guys know that, but it's science. With beats like this where it's mostly rhythmic, I kind of like to add in little effects and stuff. So if we added in some, how about we just type in effects and see where that gets us? We gotta add this in there. Watch this is gonna be hard. Wow, it's crazy how much just a little texture like that helps fill out the beat. That's crazy. Let's see what else we can find in effects here. Oh, that could be cool. Let's throw this one in. How about like, let's get even more creative. Let's put in like a little alarm of some kind. And maybe put a little delay on there so it goes, All right, I'm about to embarrass myself here, but I I hear a little melody or like a little hook on here. All right, check. All right, here's what I hear on this. Check this out.
Real money, stupid money, 5 cars. Big money, dumb money, superstar. New money, long money, repertoire. Damn, you know we got the whole night. Real money, stupid money, 5 cars. Big money, dumb money, superstar. New money, long money, repertoire. Damn, you know we got the whole night.
Man, I always love finding new ways of attacking that blank slate because sometimes it's really hard to start something because there's just so many options out there in front of us, right? But starting with the rhythm kind of helps you build a melody that links together nicely. And, you know, as long as you're picking some notes that make you feel something, you're on the right track. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.